General Motors CEO Mary Barra has unveiled a groundbreaking new engine that could revolutionize the automotive world. It's not just ambitious, it's within reach, and GM has figured out something game-changing. The company, with deep roots dating back to the 19th century, is proving it's not the GM of the past. Barra is determined to lead GM into the future with bold innovation. This cutting-edge tech is set to shake up the car market, leaving competitors scrambling to catch up. GM has announced plans to double its investment in electric vehicles, which even has Elon Musk nodding in approval. One of the biggest hurdles for EV buyers, road trip charging, could soon be a thing of the past. With plans to produce 1 million electric vehicles by 2025, GM's goals are nothing short of extraordinary. Confident in their lineup, Barra believes GM can lead the charge in the evolving automotive landscape, where technological innovation has been driving progress for over a century. The competition among giants like GM, Ford, and Toyota is heating up, but GM's new engine promises to take the race to a whole new level. According to the CEO of General Motors, the company has developed an engine so revolutionary, so groundbreaking, that it will change the entire car industry forever. This new engine is not just an incremental improvement over what's come before. It's not just a slight increase in fuel efficiency or a modest gain in horsepower. According to the GM CEO, this engine represents a complete transformation of how we think about power, efficiency, and performance in vehicles. It's a new dawn for the car industry, and many are speculating that this engine could signal the beginning of the end for many traditional players. But what is this engine, and how could it possibly disrupt an industry that has been operating for more than 100 years? Let's dive deep into what we know so far about GM's revolutionary engine, how it works, and why it has the potential to destroy the entire car industry as we know it. To understand the significance of GM's new engine, it's important to first take a step back and look at the evolution of the internal combustion engine. For over a century, this engine has been the dominant force driving the automotive industry. Whether it's gasoline or diesel-powered, internal combustion engines have been the backbone of personal transportation and commercial fleets alike. From the Model T to modern supercars, the basic principles of the internal combustion engine have remained remarkably consistent over the decades. An air-fuel mixture is ignited within a combustion chamber, driving a series of pistons that transfer energy to the drivetrain, propelling the vehicle forward. While there have been numerous advancements in fuel efficiency, materials, and engineering, the core design has changed very little. But in recent years, the automotive landscape has begun to shift. Electric vehicles, EVs, have burst onto the scene, spearheaded by companies like Tesla. These cars use electric motors instead of combustion engines, offering higher efficiency, lower emissions, and instant torque. With many governments around the world pledging to phase out gasoline-powered vehicles, the internal combustion engine has started to look like a relic of a bygone era. Yet GM's new engine seeks to change that perception entirely. At the moment, it costs a lot and requires a lot of fossil fuel to produce hydrogen. Infrastructure for hydrogen refueling stations is also lacking. Most importantly, the popularity of non-hydrogen electric vehicles may be preventing hydrogen fuel cell electric vehicles from taking off. People need a good reason to give up their Teslas. Therefore, until one is presented, hydrogen-powered cars might remain unpopular. The technology for hydrogen fuel cells has already been around for a while. It was created in the late 1960s to supply electricity for NASA's manned space flights. Since then, it has been refined and may currently be used to power a terrestrial vehicle in place of an internal combustion engine. An electrolyte membrane, an anode, and a cathode make up a conventional hydrogen fuel stack. While oxygen is fed to the cathode, hydrogen is fed to the anode, where it is divided into protons and electrons. While the protons pass across the membrane and change into water, the electrons are compelled into a circuit producing electricity. For hydrogen-powered vehicles to succeed, that cost must be reduced to $2 per gallon, the electric vehicle equivalent. The fact that hydrogen fuel cell electric vehicles are not as ecologically beneficial as claimed is another drawback. Making hydrogen requires a lot of energy, and today, fossil fuels account for 99% of production. While the vehicle itself may not contribute to pollution, the production of its fuel most certainly does. Finding a renewable energy option for hydrogen production is necessary to increase public interest in H2 vehicles. Infrastructure can be created, and new, more affordable, environmentally friendly methods of producing hydrogen can be discovered. It makes sense that since the technology is still in its infancy, it will only advance. In terms of powering automobiles, hydrogen fuel cell electric vehicles can compete with electric vehicles for drivers by matching their economy. However, even if H2 vehicles were to become as affordable and practical to use as electric vehicles, battery technology is also advancing and enhancing range, which would eliminate the advantage of hydrogen fuel cell electric vehicles. Electric vehicle owners may find no compelling reason to switch from a Model S to a Mirai. In the end, when everything is equal, consumers will stick with what they are familiar with. However, with its dynamic force engine strategy, Toyota has gained considerable prominence. The foundation of their dynamic force engine concept is increased thermal effectiveness. For instance, Toyota is said to have developed motors with a 41% thermal efficiency today, which is a noteworthy accomplishment, given that the majority of gasoline engines have efficiencies of approximately 25 to 33%. Finally, the decision is up to the consumer. Battery electric vehicles and hydrogen combustion engine vehicles both have the potential to make substantial contributions to a sustainable transportation system. As is well known, it is unlikely that either technology will replace the other. Instead, they will coexist and fulfill various functions according to individual consumer tastes and circumstances.